Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Why am I wearing this microphone? Welcome to the channel. My name's Dave, and this is What Was My Grandma Cooking? We're going to go over recipes from grandmas everywhere, mine, yours, and anything in between. These recipes are going to be old, so we're going to be modernizing them a little bit. So why don't you come with us along this journey as we find out what our grandmothers were cooking. Might get a little crazy. So for this, our first episode of What Was Grandma Cooking, we're doing her famous salad dressing chocolate cake. So let's get started. If you want to follow along with today's recipe, you will see it right here. We will have our salad dressing, our cake, and our frosting. So first, you'll need to put the salad dressing together. For the salad dressing, what you'll need is 1/2 cup of oil. I used olive oil. 1/2 cup vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar. 1/2 cup white sugar. 1/2 cup hot ketchup, or if you can't find hot ketchup, you can use ketchup with hot sauce. I ended up using was this Heinz chili sauce. It's essentially just ketchup with some peppers in it. It'll work fine. Anything you can grab. There's plenty of them out there, so don't be afraid. In the recipe, it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of dried chives. I didn't have dried, so I chopped up some fresh and added those. You'll need 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt. And finally, 1/2 clove of minced or chopped garlic. I used a full clove because I like garlic, even though now as I think about it, a lot of garlic in a cake might have been a bad idea. So what you're going to do is add all of the ingredients. I added the oil, the vinegar, everything as it says in the recipe, and whisked until the sugar at the bottom was fully dissolved and I could not feel any more of the crystals lurking around the bottom. After that, I simply put a layer of shrink wrap over it and set it aside. Next, we're going to make our chocolate cake. So you're going to need 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar. You'll need 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda, 4 tablespoons of powdered cocoa, 1 cup of cold water, 1 cup of the salad dressing we just made, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. You're going to mix these well until it is thoroughly incorporated and somewhat smooth, although you're probably not going to get it velvety because there's garlic and chives in there. So do the best you can and make it as smooth as possible. I opted to hand mix it, but feel free to use a stand-up mixer or any other way you need to incorporate the ingredients. After it was mixed, I poured it into a 9-inch round cake pan, but typically any cake pan will work as long as it's not too thick. Then you're gonna throw it in the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. When the time is up, stick a knife or a toothpick in it to make sure that the center is fully cooked. And if it is, you can pull it from the oven and set it aside to cool. Next, we need to make the frosting. It's a very simple frosting consisting of 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup milk. I did not have any fresh milk, so I used evaporated milk. And typically, what I found is it's about 60% of the water is removed, so adjust as you may see fit. I added a little less water because I thought it would be a little creamier, and so I added a little less water. And 1/4 cup of butter, which works out to be about 1/2 stick. Now what you're going to do is throw all of those into a saucepan because the recipe is going to call for it to be boiled. Now I added them into the saucepan and put them over on the stove. I started at a low heat, gradually raising it as the ingredients melted and incorporated, and after about 10 minutes it was brought to a boil. Now the recipe calls for it to boil for 1 minute and then remove it from the heat, which I did. I also made sure to keep the frosting moving so that nothing would burn on the bottom and everything would come together correctly. You don't want anything to burn on the bottom of a pan, believe you me. After that minute was up, I pulled it off and kept mixing. Now it looked very loose and it felt very loose for the majority of its cook time and cooling time. but after a while I threw it on a bed of ice and it firmed up reasonably well. As it was cooling but not quite cool, still warm to the touch, I added the 2 teaspoons of vanilla and incorporated that with a rubber scraper. After the cake had fully cooled and the icing had firmed up reasonably well, what I did was pour the icing directly on top of the cake and smooth it out to let it drip over the sides, because this is going to be, you're going to have to move quickly because it is going to set fast once it does cool, so you need it still to be a little warm so that it can cover the surface of the cake. Now after all that, you will have a complete, maybe delicious, salad dressing chocolate cake. So this recipe came from my grandma, Charlotte. The genesis of this show was to take old recipes from family members and years gone by and sort of bring them into the modern age, maybe update them a little bit. This did not need very much updating. I was actually surprised because there was no egg in this cake batter, there was no fat in this cake batter, but the fat was, I assume, coming from the salad dressing, from all the oil and that sort of stuff. It was still weird there was no egg. It came out fairly dense, so it's not going to be a light and fluffy cake like you would expect at a birthday party. It's more like an old style gingerbread, which is going to be fairly dense. Now, all we've got to do next is give it a taste. So let's step into the dining room and see how this cake turned out. And so here we have Grandma Charlotte's salad dressing chocolate cake. It smells chocolatey. There's a hint of ketchup. Obviously, the garlic is still, I wouldn't say it's up front, but it definitely has notes of it on the back end when you sort of stick your schnoz in there. Yeah, the vinegar is coming through a little bit on the back end too. You can see it's a dense cake. It came out very thick. The frosting was awesome though, so let's take a taste and see what this is all about. Still a little warm. Got a little bit of the garlic in there. And feel it crunch. Maybe not crunch, but you know how garlic feels. I don't really taste. You know, it's not bad. I honestly think it is not bad. Even though it is full of vinegar and ketchup and garlic and chives, it's interesting. It's not quite a sweet cake. I wouldn't say this is a good thing to bring to a birthday party. It's very dense. It is almost like a brownie almost, but the spices or the herbs and all the stuff that came together in it, I think it actually works pretty well, and I was very worried, especially with the ketchup, right? Every time you hit a piece of that garlic, it feels a little bit like you're eating a carrot cake, but not in a bad way. Like when I'm eating the garlic, it doesn't taste like there's garlic in it. It's just every once in a while you get that little hit. You know, for what it is, I think it came out really good. I'm going to go ahead and recommend this recipe. You know, if you watch this, give that salad dressing a try on an actual salad. Yeah, I think the boiling of the frosting was also a good idea. I was a little worried about burning the milk and the butter, but since it was only on there for a minute, I probably could have left this on a low boil for a little bit longer to maybe pull out a little more of those caramel notes that I'm tasting in the chocolate from the boiled sugar. But yeah, I think I'm not gonna eat a whole piece of that right now because it's a little heavy and I haven't eaten a lunch today. But I think this is something, it's unusual. It's not bad, and I don't think if you told people there was salad dressing in this cake, I don't think they would know. Maybe they would. If they hit a piece of that garlic. You might also want to, if you're going to, I minced the garlic in a shredder myself. You could probably even use the minced garlic you can buy at the store. Maybe even next time, if I were gonna make this again, I might put it through a food processor to make it more into a paste. Same thing with the chives, I think. If their flavor came a little more throughout, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but it might, biting into a piece of that garlic might throw somebody off. But you tell me what you think. If you tried this recipe, tell me down in the comments below if it's worth a try, or if you think it's going to be your next birthday. So maybe I'll take another bite, and we'll see you on the next episode of What Was Grandma Cooking? Not bad. And he'll cut to the glamour shot.